In the book of Revelations, we are given a description of a beast, which, according to chapter 13, arises from the sea and has 10 horns and many heads. One of its heads receives a mortal wound that is then healed. The entire world follows this beast, which is empowered by the dragon. The beast makes war on the saints and conquers them. It has power over all the nations of the earth, exploiting the nations of the world economically and demanding to be worshipped. The author concludes his description of this mortal enemy of Yah with a final identifying mark given for those with understanding. The number of the beast is 666. It is good to know that interpreters have offered numerous speculations over the years to explain this number, and most of these interpreters have been concerned to show that the beast had finally arisen in their own day. Rarely are these interpretations put forth as speculations, but almost always with the confidence of those who have the inside scope. We have heard, we have read, we have watched preachers, televangelists, authors over the years who have suggested such enticing and diverse candidates as the Pope. Some said it was Saddam Hussein, Adolf Hitler. More recently, we have seen interpretations that took the number to refer to even President Obama or to some other figure on the political horizon who may seem the embodiment of evil. But the author of the book, however, was writing for his own day, not for the 21st century, and he may have had something specific in mind. And anyone conversant with gematria would have understood what the author meant by saying that the number of the beast was 666. He was indicating that this was the numerical value of the person's name. Asian languages use letters of the alphabet for their numbers, making it possible to add up the numerical equivalent of any word. This kind of numerological investigation was turned into a major interpretative method in Hebrew-speaking and reading circles. Since the inspired words of Scripture each had numerical equivalents, one could use the numerical value of words in Hebrew to help fathom deep meaning of the text. The use of these numbers was called gematria. This method was a very complex and serious business. I believe in the Hebrew community, my brother Avdil Ben Levi, that is Zion Lex, is the one that I have seen use this ancient complex method in his teachings. This may seem weird to us at first sight, but if you think for a second, it's not strange at all. We today use Roman alphabets, A, B, C, D, but Arabic numerals, 1, 2, 3, 4. But we are also familiar with the Roman numerals, where I is 1, V is 5, L is 50, C is 100. For Asians, not just Hebrews and Romans, the alphabets did double duty. I will use the book of Genesis, the narrative about Noah, to explain this further to give you an idea. And Elohim said to Noah, "The end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth has become full of robbery because of them. And behold, I am destroying them from the earth. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. You shall make the ark with compartments, and you shall chalk it both inside and outside with pitch." The word for ark in Hebrew is teva. Besides meaning ark, teva also means word. So the word ark has a linguistic connection. Put that in your spirit. Let's look at the dimensions of the ark. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. You shall make the ark with compartments, and you shall chalk it both inside and outside with pitch. And this is the size you shall make it: 300 cubits, the length of the ark, 50 cubits, its breadth, and 30 cubits, its height. So we have 300 cubits, we have 50 cubits, and then we have 30 cubits. Now, 300 is the numerical value for the Hebrew alphabet Shin. 50 is the numerical value for Nun. 30 is the numerical value for Lamed. Take these letters and arrange them, and one of the words that it spells is Lashon, tongue, or language. So, Build for yourself an ark, yes, a physical ark. But esoterically, Noah is being asked also to build for himself speech, rectified speech, to know how to speak. As if Yah knew he was going to use his speech, his words, his language to curse his own grandson, Canaan. This is why the psalmist says, Elohim spoke one thing, but I heard two, for Elohim has strength. When Yah speaks, there are layers to understanding what he's saying. Gematria is one. So we will use this method of Gematria to explain one of the great mysteries of the Bible, the identification of the Antichrist in the book of Revelations, whose number was 666. Now, just to make this interesting, I should point out that some of the ancient Greek manuscripts of the book of Revelation give a different number for the beast. Most people don't know this. In Papyrus 115, that is P115, the number of the beast in Revelation 13 is indicated as 616 rather than 666. Now, I am not saying this is more likely to be the reading that the author originally wrote. That's a different topic. Of all the manuscripts of Revelation, only two of them read 616. That is P115 and the manuscript of the 5th century. The one manuscript of the 11th century reads 665, but we know that was a scribal error. 666 is not only most widely attested by a large margin, it is the reading in our very oldest manuscript of Revelations, which is P47, from the 3rd century, I believe. So now we have 666 and 616. How can we make sense of all this? Historians have long known of a group of ancient Jewish books which predict that one of the most hated of the Roman emperors, Caesar Nero, will return from the dead to wreak havoc on the earth, comparable to one who recovers from a death-inflicting blow. This popular belief may have something to do with the number of the beast. It should be recalled that Nero was seen as the arch-enemy of the Christians, whom he ruthlessly and unjustly persecuted for setting fire to the city of Rome. Could he have been the beast described in Revelation 13? We believe so. Intriguingly enough, when the name Caesar Nero, Caesar Neron, is spelled in Hebrew letters, their numerical total is 666. Don't forget a 616. More intriguingly still, the name can be spelled in another way without the final nun, without the final N at the end. The N is worth 50 in the Hebrew numerical system. When the alternative spelling is employed, the name adds up to 616. The author of Revelation was not referring to Hitler, Obama, Saddam Hussein, or anyone else in modern times. His enemy was Rome and its Caesars. It was Rome that had dominated the other nations of the earth. It was Rome that had exploited their native populations and oppressed the people of Yah. It was the Roman emperor who was worshipped as divine, who persecuted Christians and sometimes put them to death. 666 points to Caesar Nero. 616 points also to Caesar Nero.